So today we'll discuss about the oral cavity. So as we already know, oral cavity, it is one of the outermost part of the digestive system, or it is the first part of the digestive system. From where it extends? It extends from the lips to the palatoglossal arches. So what are these arches? When you open your mouth, so behind you will find some arch-like structure like this. So that part, these are the palatoglossal arches. And then the oral cavity or a mouth, it is subdivided into some spaces. So they are between the lips and the cheek, and there is another space between teeth and the gums. All these spaces together, they are called vestibule. Whereas only the space between teeth and gums, the space between teeth and gums, it is called mouth cavity proper. Okay. Next. So this oral cavity or the mouth cavity, it has a roof, floor, and it joins the pharynx. So what are the roof here? The roof, as we see this red and yellow structure. So this is a red thing, it is a bony structure. This you already know, it is the hard palate. Whereas behind this, there is a structure, the muscular structure, that is called soft palate. Then how much is the division? The anterior 1/3, so the red part, so it is a large part, that is the hard palate. The posterior 1/3, that is a soft muscular part, it is the soft palate. Then what about the floor? So floor, where is the floor? When you lift your tongue. So when you lift your tongue, the area below the tongue, so that part will become the floor. What all it contains? It is made up of mucous membrane, the anterior 2/3 of the tongue, and then frenulum. So what is frenulum? So when you lift your tongue, and then there is a blue color structure, same like as you see in this line, same like thing you will see. So that connection is called the frenulum. And then you have a sublingual papillae and submandibular duct and sublingual folds. These are the structures forming the floor of the oral cavity or the mouth cavity. Next, what are the boundaries it has? So as we already know, so this cheek and the lips in the front side, and then the hard palate, as we already discussed, hard and soft palate, it forms the roof, and then anterior 2/3 of the tongue and floor of the mouth. All these structures, and then oropharyngeal isthmus. So all these forms the boundaries of the mouth cavity. So whereas what is this oropharyngeal isthmus? This oropharyngeal isthmus, where it is present? It is bounded on the side of the palatoglossal folds here. This. So these are the palatoglossal, the arches, and then these arches are guarded or protected by the folds. So where it is? Immediately in front of the palatine tonsil here. So this is the palatine tonsil. And inferiorly tongue and superiorly the soft palate. So these are the areas or boundaries of oropharyngeal isthmus. Next. So what are the parts here? The parts here, you just remember the names. Okay. This one, vestibule, the oral cavity proper. So here you remember this one. So what are the glands present in the oral cavity? So what are the glands? So all the salivary glands. So that is the duct of the parotid gland. So these are very important structures because you should know where the duct of the parotid gland is present. It is present opposite to second molar tooth. Okay. Then, and the ducts of submandibular gland. So where it is present? It is present in the floor of the mouth. Okay. And the sublingual papillae at both the side of the frenulum. It means the center part of the frenulum of both the sides. Next, the sublingual glands. Okay, where it is present? This is also present in the floor of the mouth and ducts of the mucous glands. So these are the important glands. They are opening into the oral cavity or mouth cavity. So in this picture, it will be more clear to understand. So one is the frenulum, as we already know. The frenulum, when you see, when you stand in front of the mirror and lift your tongue, so there is a blue color line. That blue color line, that is the structure, it is the frenulum. Next structure on either side. On the other side, it is called the lateral to lingual fold. So that is called fimbriated folds. Okay. Below this, there is a opening of submandibular salivary gland, and there is also opening for sublingual salivary glands. Next, the arterial supply, it is mainly by the maxillary artery. So this maxillary artery, it supplies us the upper and lower teeth. So what are the branches here? The branches of the maxillary artery, they are the posterior, middle and superior alveolar artery. They supply us to the upper teeth, whereas the lower teeth, it is supplied by inferior alveolar artery. Same like the nerve supply is also by the maxillary and mandibular division of trigeminal nerve. So these are the posterior, middle and anterior superior alveolar branches. So from where they are coming? So upper part, it is supplied by maxillary nerve. When the lower teeth, by the mandibular nerve, the branch, this branch is called inferior alveolar nerve. The next important structure, it is the tongue. What is there in the tongue? As we already know, the tongue, what are the functions of the tongue? So it helps in the speech, the taste, and then deglutition, and also it helps in mixing of the food, salivation. All these are the some of the functions. Now comes to the what are the parts. So this part, this is the tip or apex of the tongue, and the center part, it is the body and the posterior part, this part, this is the root of the tongue. Okay, now another structure. So there is a tongue is divided into two parts by a V-shaped structure. So V-shaped structure, it is called sulcus terminalis. This one. This is the structure here, sulcus terminalis. Next, the divisions of the tongue. The dorsum. Dorsum means the upper part of the tongue. Ventral means the lower part of the tongue. On the dorsum, as I already told, the sulcus terminalis here. This sulcus terminalis divides the tongue into two parts. That is the anterior here, the body. See, this is the large anterior 2/3 and this is the posterior 1/3 part. The anterior 2/3, it is also called oral part of the tongue, whereas the 1/3 part, it is called pharyngeal part of the tongue. Now, swallowing. Okay, this sulcus terminalis, at the center of the V, there is a one small depression. It is called foramen cecum. So this foramen cecum, it is the upper end of thyroglossal duct. So it is an embryological part which is formed by thyroglossal duct. Next, the anterior 2/3 of the tongue, what it contains? So it contains the lingual papillae. So these lingual papillae, these are also a taste buds. Okay. Whereas the posterior part, so it is smooth, called the pharyngeal part, and it contains the lingual tonsils inside its substance. So what are these? So these contains, so these are here. So these are very soft. This part is called the lingual tonsils. Now you see the areas of taste buds where they are present and what all the taste where they produce. The bitter taste produced at this part of the tongue, and from the side of the tongue you will get the sensation of salt at this area. The sour you will get at this part of the tongue. Okay, whereas at the tip of the tongue you will get the sweet sensation or sweet taste buds. They are present at the tip of the tongue. Okay, next, as we already know, the tongue is a muscular organ, so it contains the muscles. So what are the types of muscles? There are two groups of muscles. They are called extrinsic muscles and the intrinsic group of muscles. Here you just remember the names of the muscles: genioglossus, hyoglossus, styloglossus and palatoglossus. So these are the extrinsic muscles. And then, so don't worry about the function, and all these muscles, they are supplied by hypoglossal nerve except the palatoglossus, which is supplied by vago-accessory nerve. Same like you should know the intrinsic muscles. These are superior and inferior longitudinal, transverse and vertical. Okay, so these muscles, they are supplied by hypoglossal nerves. So these are the some arrangements. You can see these are the muscles, how they are arranged. So this is the direction. In this directions, these muscles are arranged. Next, here you just remember the name of the muscle and the nerve supply. Okay, and then this is also name and the nerve supply, and the hyoglossus also just the name and then from where it is arising, and the name of the palatoglossus. Okay, is it okay? Then the nerve supply. One of the important thing in the tongue is the nerve supply of the tongue. The nerve supply, it has two parts. So that is the motor and the sensory. The motor part we already know. The motor part means the nerve which are supplying for the muscles. So that is all the muscles, they are supplied by hypoglossal nerve except palatoglossus. It is supplied by accessory nerve, the cranial accessory nerve. Okay. Next comes to the sensory nerve supply. So this sensory nerve supply is having three types. One is the anterior 2/3, posterior 1/3, and the posterior most part of the tongue. So here you just remember anterior 2/3 is supplied by lingual nerve and chorda tympani nerve, whereas the posterior 1/3 is by glossopharyngeal nerve, and then the posterior most part is by the vagus nerve. And the same thing here, it has the description. So what it is? So now you know the nerves, where they are supplying. That thing is the general sensation by lingual nerve. The taste sensation is by chorda tympani nerve. So this is in the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. So what happens? So whenever is there any damage to these nerves, the sensation of the anterior part of the tongue will be lost. Okay, same like, yes, so these are very important things. The posterior 1/3, the both general as well as taste sensation is by glossopharyngeal nerve, and the same like the posterior part, it is by laryngeal nerve. The blood supply is by lingual artery, and the veins, the deep lingual vein and dorsal lingual vein. But the lymphatic drainage, again it is different. See here, the both the side and the central part, it is supplied by the submandibular lymph nodes, whereas the tip of the tongue, it is supplied by submental lymph nodes, whereas the posterior 1/3, it is supplied by deep cervical lymph nodes. This deep cervical lymph nodes, it has another two group of lymph nodes. They are called jugulo-digastric and jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes. Here in the applied aspects, just leave these things. So this part you should know. So why it is important? Because the nerve supply. So it is very important when you want to diagnose some patients. Any sensory, that is, Yeah, all are important. All sensory nerves are important. Yes, this is also this is also important. Okay. So in this part, so why it is what here? So here you can diagnose the hypoglossal nerve is the normal or is there any damage. So what happens in this description, what they are telling, I will just summarize what they are giving. So now one patient comes to you. So he is telling, so whenever doctor, when I put my tongue outside, so it is going to one side. So it means you should, then you should come to a diagnose. So there will be a damage of the hypoglossal nerve. Okay. So when there is a damage, you should tell how to examine the patient. Tell the patient to show his tongue. So when he show his tongue, so it will come like this. Where side, on which side the nerve is damaged, the tongue will go on that side. So then you should know that the hypoglossal nerve is damaged. Okay. The next part is the palate. So this we already know. So we have two types of palate. So that is the soft palate and the hard palate. Without feeling common. Yes, yes, regarding last slide. So when you tell the patients without his knowledge, if when you tell him, you show his tongue, the tongue will go either left or the right side. If the tongue goes to the right side, then you should diagnose the right side hypoglossal nerve is damaged. If it goes to the left side, you should diagnose left side of the hypoglossal nerve is damaged. It's clear now? Okay. Now about the palates. So there are two palates. One is the hard palate and the soft palate. As we know, the hard palate is made up of the bones and it forms the roof of the oral cavity or the mouth cavity and the floor of the nasal cavity. Next is the soft palate. What is there in the soft palate? Soft palate, it is mainly muscular. It contains the muscles. So that is why it is soft in consistency. So where it is suspended? It is suspended from the posterior border of the hard palate. Okay. Now I will show this picture. So where is the posterior? Okay. Now you see in this diagram, this is the hard palate, the red color structure. Okay. This is the anterior part of the hard palate and here is the posterior part of the hard palate. Okay. And this yellow color is the soft palate. So what was our sentence? Soft palate is suspended or attached from the posterior surface of the hard pallet. So this is clear now. Okay. Then extends between the nasal and oral part of the pharynx. So where it is present? It is present between nasal and oral part. What are the boundaries? So it has superior boundary, superior border by the attached to the hard palate, inferior. So inferiorly it is free. Okay. And in the center, the free border of the center part, that is called the structure uvula. In the middle of this part, you will find the structure, that is uvula. Okay. Next, the two palatal arches. So as we already told, so these are the like this. This part is the uvula. So these are the palatal arches. Then as I already told, so these are there, it contains the muscular structures. So what are the muscles present there? The muscles, here you remember the name of the muscle and the nerve supply. Okay. And then the name of the muscle and the nerve supply. Whereas in the palatoglossus, you should remember origin, insertion, and nerve supply. So it's okay. Next, in this also, origin, insertion, and the nerve supply. Whereas the blood supply of the soft palate, the soft palate is supplied by the facial artery, the lingual artery, and lesser palatine artery. So from where these arteries are coming? The lingual artery is a branch from greater palatine artery. Dorsal and the others are, they are the branches. And then you just revise this thing. So here you remember only the maxillary nerve. The sensory nerve supply is by the maxillary nerve. So rest you just, it is for your revision. Okay. So if anything is there you not understood here, you can just ask. So if you have any doubts. Okay. Okay then.